Mid-tier smartphone with a 4.7-inch screen and LTE connectivity. It runs Windows Phone 8 GDR2. Now, a lot of comment on the screen. It's the biggest ever on a Lumia device, 4.7 inches, but the resolution 480 by 800, that's the lower spec for Windows Phone. You can see the individual pixels if we zoom in here. Make it a bit more obvious if I compare it to the Lumia 925 on the right there. You can see the individual pixel details. I don't actually think it matters, particularly on Windows Phone and particularly on a device that costs £200, although I'm sure there's going to be quite a lot of comments on it. Moving on to the back of the device, we can see the loudspeaker, the camera with its LED flash, the audio jack and the standard Windows Phone buttons down the side of the device, in this case made of plastic. Switching back to the front of the device, I'm just going to switch into the browser. You see the one use case where maybe screen resolution does have an impact. That's reading large amounts of text on the screen, but it's still reasonably clear even at these resolutions. Maybe if you're reading an ebook it does become a factor, but again you have to remember that this is a mid-tier device and cuts have to be made somewhere. That's reflected in other specs. This is a low-spec Windows Phone 8 device, so 512MB of RAM and dual-core 1.2 GHz processor. Just going back to the screen one more time, I promise, thinking about the viewing angles, you can see here it's not bad, maybe not as good as the 720 and the high-spec Windows Phone devices, but better than the 520. Also, the colours, they're not bad. This is LCD IPS, so it's not going to pop in the same way as AMOLED. It's certainly not the strongest aspect of the device, but it's not bad when set in the context of similarly priced competing devices. Returning once again to the back of the device, let's talk about another typical Nokia feature. Multiple colours: black, white, bright green, orange and yellow. Those are the 5 colour variants for the Lumia 625. It's achieved through removable back covers, a bit like the DualShock covers for the Lumia 620, but a cheaper version. You can see here there's a white bit in the middle, and around the outside there's a translucent material. You can see the green and the orange version here. These shells are essentially cosmetic covers for the main block of the device, which includes a 2000 mAh integrated battery. Note how the microSD and SIM card slot are found on the outside of this main block here. Let's finish this preview with some more live video, and we'll bring in some other devices and size comparison. Here's the Lumia 620, noticeably smaller, that's because it's got the 3.9 inch screen. Also bring in the Lumia 925. This has a 4.5 inch screen, but you can see in terms of the front profile, both devices very similar. They're also both quite slim, around 9mm or so. The Lumia 625 is quite heavy at 159 grams down to the construction technique in the LCD screen, but it gives it a reassuringly solid feel that's unusual for a mid-tier device. I'll finish this preview by showing you a video of the removable cover being put on and off the device. But as it plays, I just want to remind you of one of the features I mentioned right at the beginning: LTE connectivity, or 4G connectivity. Faster uploads and download speeds means great content onto the device. Operators will like it, particularly those launching 4G networks such as in the UK. Applies to other markets as well, but this is the first Windows Phone device in the mid-tier with that LTE connectivity, so it's going to be one of the key selling points of this device. So there we go, that concludes our preview of the